the truth is, like, are those sauces good for me? No, they're really not. Am I proud about it? No. But also there is a part of me that I have to recognize that I have hurt myself through and through again by, although there's certain fitness goals that I have, one of my biggest kryptonite being needing saucy stuff on it has pulled me further away from my goals.
That's what I'm saying. There's zero control. It's like the food is around me and all of a sudden it's like all self-control is out the window, and that primal part of my brain is like, "You're starving, you need to eat all of it because you're never gonna see it again." Hey everybody, it's Bianca.
And it's Emilia.
Welcome to another episode of Evolve Ventures, where we are helping growth minded humans evolve by breaking one limiting belief at a time. We hope you enjoyed the last episode, number 299, Motivation Monday, How to Stop Procrastinating. For today, 300. Are you being hurt by food? First and foremost, holy hell, congrats to us. Big high five.
Woo! 300.
Episode 300. The fact that we have
P.
done 300 episodes in a row and we have never missed an episode,
Never missed.
something special. It's something special. I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you.
As am I with you. My goodness. And also all shout out to all of these listeners, like OG listeners and people who have joined us in this journey and who have allowed us to join them in their journey, because like it wouldn't make sense for you and I to show up on the mic if there weren't listeners and the community that we have. So like this has started so small and now it's getting out of hand in the best way possible. And I adore what this is. So go everybody, go us. Go them.
Go us. Go team.
Go
All the
team.
evolvers out there.
Hell yeah. Love it. And I think what better way to celebrate a 300 than a topic around food? When it comes to celebrations, what's the first thing that we think about? I know for me and Tina, that part of me that like adores food takes right on over. It's like, okay, well, where are my BK sauces? And I was telling you the story, B, and I want to make sure that I share it again in this episode is so y'all know that I am all for evolving in pretty much every way possible. And y'all also will know that your girl also can sometimes be a little naughty when it comes to not always being perfect. And I think that that is so important to make sure that we share, because on this evolving journey, we are not perfect human beings. There's no such thing. We know this. And there's sometimes we kind of swerve and have setbacks, and, you know, we got to own that. And I think it's owning those little setbacks that help us really get the lessons to help us evolve. So one night, I think it was, a couple of months ago at this point, but it was a weekend, and Alan and I think we had just finished a kick-ass workout and we weren't in the spirit of cooking food. And I think it was his idea, although like I don't just want to push it on him because I'm kind of insecure around this, but we end up coming to the conclusion that we want to go get BK. Now we have a Burger King right down the street from us, and we don't frequent it often, especially because like, my stomach doesn't really feel good after fried food or anything like that from fast food. I really like to usually eat organic and really like healthy stuff. And my biggest kryptonite just so happens to be not BK, but the sauces. Sauces are my biggest kryptonite. And so when we went to BK, it was the funniest thing. We order our stuff and the guy that was working there, he goes, "So do you guys want any sauces?" And Alan looks at me because we called me the sauce queen. And he looks at me and goes, "My honey, what do you got?" Like, and this guy is like rattling. And he's like, "We'll have that. We'll have that. We'll have that." I'm like, okay. And I'm kind of feeling a little insecure, but also like gloating at the fact that like my honey knows me, like take all the sauces, give us a whole set. And so he's
Your
like, all
eyes
right.
lit up like a Christmas tree. You're like,
Every part of me was like, yes, I feel so seen now more than I ever have this whole month. Right. So yes, sauce man, bring me the sauces. So he's like, all right, because you guys eat like for a family, pretty much pull around being bodybuilders, right? We get enough food to feed a whole family because of the way in which we crush our workouts. And that's one of the benefits of being a savage when it comes to your exercise. You get to pretty much eat. Anyways, he says, all right, pull around to the side. This is like at like probably like 9:32. It was late. Pull around to the side. We're going to have to bring the food out to you. And I'm like, "What the hell? That's so weird. Like, really? Did we order that much?" And this guy comes out and he starts handing us our food and he's like, "I gotta go. I gotta go get the sauces." And I'm like, "What?"
Oh my
He's like,
god.
"Do you want like this sauce and like that sauce too?" And I'm like, "Bring it all, baby. Just bring it all." And I was, like, so in my element, and I felt so seen by this guy. I was like, "Oh, thank you so much for asking me the really important questions, like, do I want this sauce? Yes." And he, like, leaves to go back into BK, and Alan and I are in the Tesla, and, like, we're looking at the food that we got. He's making sure that we have everything, and I, like, started kinda tearing up. It was, like, kind of embarrassing. I crap you not. And Alan's like, "My honey feels so it was like a moment we had. He's like, "You feel so seen right now." I'm like, "This guy, can we, like, take him home? He's such a sweet man." He asked me about the sauces, and he comes back around with this literally, like, brown I'm talking, like, brown paper bag full of sauces, and I was just like, "Thank you so much." And you could tell he was like, "You guys are the weirdest humans I think I've ever met." Like, not only the amount of food for just you 2, but, like, how appreciative you are for me giving you a bag of sauces. And it just I think this whole story kind of rounds about like the truth is like, are those sauces good for me? No, they're really not. Am I proud about it? No. But also there is a part of me that I have to recognize that I have hurt myself through and through again by although there's certain fitness goals that I have, one of my biggest kryptonite being needing saucy stuff on it has pulled me further away from my goals. So have I been hurt by food? Yeah, but it's not really the food itself. It's me not having the degree of inhibition that I really need and that I really want. And I think that that connects to so many of us in certain ways where we don't recognize how much food can hurt us and our part that we play in it, whether it be sauces or whether it be our binge eating as a coping mechanism or as a form of self-harm. We don't talk enough about it. And so I wanted to open this episode with starting there because I know that we've all been there, both you and I in our own experiences. And we're open and more honest about that than most. So
Yeah. I don't think it's just the inhibition though, it's the relationship to food as the primary way of coping with things.
right,
And it's not even just that. It's the relationship with food and having such a scarce mindset around it because so many of us are struggling with our body image,
right.
whether it's men and women. Like have you've seen White Chicks, right?
Oh yeah.
Remember when they're
Classic.
at dinner and he's like, "Perhaps a salad?" And he's like,
On
perhaps not." And then he orders, like, everything on the
the
menu.
menu. That was
That's
practically me at
me.
BK.
No, no, that's me. Every time this is why doing weight cuts
Yeah.
have become kind of dangerous for me.
Yeah.
Because I get into that mindset and then it's like when I get around food, it's like that clicks in my mind and it's like,
Right.
"Oh, I
The
can't
conditioning.
have it and I'm in
Right.
scarcity right now and oh my god, I'm never going to get to eat this again." And all of those
Mhm.
narratives come up and then all of the body image shame comes up and
Yeah.
all of the negative narratives come up and then food ends up becoming a form of self harm when I end up having a massive binge eating episode or
Right.
I have a panic attack because I'm around food and I don't feel like I can't eat it
And
because
you
there's
don't
that
feel like you
part of me
can
that's
control
like
yourself in that
that's what
too.
I'm saying. There's zero
Yeah.
control. It's like the food is around me and all of a sudden it's like all self-control is out the window and
Yeah.
that primal part of my brain is like you're starving, you need to eat all of it because you're never going to see it again.
Right, right,
And that's tied into the years and years and years of shaming myself and being shamed by others about my body, about eating habits, and so on and so forth. So,
right.
Hello, everybody. My name is Derek Smith, and I'm the department head of the Evolve Venture Society page. I just wanted to come on here and talk about my time at Evolve and being a team member. It's been nothing short of phenomenal, and I don't say that as somebody just trying to hype up the team or the business or anything like that. No, it's genuine, and like genuinely, I've never been a part of such a group, had people that were so invested in me, being able to keep me accountable and like pushing and really just supporting me for my own growth. And the amount of things that I've been able to help and influence, manage in myself, learn about, and just being a part of this community, all under the guidance of Bianca and Emilia, for me, that's just been phenomenal. So my time here has just been very, very blessed. So thank you, Emilia. Thank you, Bianca. You guys rock.
If you're somebody listening to this who has struggled with that, number one, you're not alone. And number two, it's not the food.
Yeah.
It's not. The food is just like, replace food with whatever the vice is for you, whether it's porn, whether it actually is like non-suicidal self-injurious behavior like cutting or burning, whether it's binge watching movies, whether it's doom scrolling on TikTok or Instagram, whatever that thing is. The relationship to this thing is hurting you because of what it means,
Right.
because of the underlying meaning in there. So for
Mhm.
me, food has always been associated, number one, with comfort, but number
Right.
two, there's always been a scarcity around it because I always told myself I'm not allowed to eat because I look terrible because of the body dysmorphia I've been experiencing for a really long time. And
Mhm.
then the shame. So that's where like the binging and restricting habits really started coming in, and just the unhealthy like fitness habits and
Yeah.
all of that. So are you being hurt by food? If you have this sense of panic or worry or anxiety that comes out when food is around you, and this feeling of lack of control, you probably do have a negative relationship to food. Or
Yeah.
if it's the end of the day and you're lonely and all you want to do is binge eat because you feel like it's going to fill something in you, you
Mhm.
probably have a negative relationship to food.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give a personal example. Last night, literally last night, I went grocery shopping and I didn't get that much stuff, but I got the basics, chicken and vegetables and
Yep.
whatever. And then I went past the I ended the cut that I was doing. So
Yep.
I went past the Mexican aisle because
Uh-oh.
I needed rice. And
Uh-oh.
I see the
Yum.
Tostitos, chips, and I'm like, I haven't had Tostitos in a minute.
It
So
starts
I got,
calling your name.
oh my god, I got the lightly salted ones. I started watching Game of Thrones again, and
Okay. Yep.
I put
Perfect
Game of
combo.
um um I put Game of Thrones on. I ate an entire family size bag of Tostitos lightly salted chips.
Mhm.
And it's like it wasn't even conscious. It wasn't
I
even
know.
conscious. And then I
Mhm.
finished the bag and I'm watching and I'm like,
You're
what just
slowly
happened?
crinkling it up and, like, sneaking it into the trash.
I'm like, what just happened? How did I
Yeah.
just eat this entire bag of chips?
You black out.
But it's like you black
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, whatever, it's chips. It's not gonna kill me. But like,
Definitely not.
I can only say that now, and I'm not in this situation. And I've been doing
Yeah.
so much work the last couple of months
I know.
on these thinking patterns. But
Mhm.
me a couple of months ago, oh my god, the shaming and the
Yeah.
catastrophizing and the body checking of, like, looking in the mirror every 3 minutes to see if my stomach blew up, like,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
so many of us go through this. And again, whether it's food, whether it's another vice, whatever the case may be, we're being hurt by these things because of what we've allowed them to mean and the role we've allowed them to take in our life. So,
Yeah.
again, if this is you, you are not alone by any stretch. We all have something. And
Mhm.
if it is food, I know that it feels really scary because it's not like porn or something where you can just not use it anymore, right? Like, you have to eat.
Truth.
But rebuilding the relationship with that, it'll take time and it is difficult, but it is doable.
And it's so worth it too. And
Yeah.
I shared my experience here and like joking, but like Alan had given me feedback and he's like, your relationship with food has gotten so much better And like beforehand, it was way more scavenged because I grew up with 2 siblings and a household of 5. And so like there was a lot of conditioning around that all of us have. When it comes to food, it's like if you don't scarf down what you have on your plate, depending on where you are socioeconomically, whatever, or your cultural beliefs around food, like you're not going to eat. So there's so much of a primal combined with the conditioning that's involved with this. And Alan had said, you're getting so much better with your own control around your food. And it's really nice to
Mhm.
see. It's because of the work and of the investment that we've put in. And so the joking around the BK sauces, it was a really big moment for me because of the fact that it was like I had an emotional response to this BK man asking me, do I want sauces? So just how interesting that is at the level of control that I do have with my food, with my nutrition, even the verbiage and the meaning that I assign to it as nourishment and as fuel for my body, right? Because I'm a
Mhm.
body builder and I build my body, right? So those little things they stack up over time, and whether you are gardening your mind or not, that will progress in the direction that it is. So hopefully through this episode you
Absolutely.
have recognized that you're not alone and that the hurt that you are experiencing by food, it doesn't have to be there forever. So, in closing,
I-
is there anything you have?
Mm.
Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, if this is something that you want to work on, the You Do You program is a really incredible place to start. It's
Yeah.
a really, really slow paced, when you're ready approach to therapy. It makes it a lot easier to try, because it's not like you have to look someone in the face and have a dialogue and
Yeah.
be really vulnerable in that way.
Mhm.
It's a much safer, more gentle approach to being able to talk about some of these difficult things. So, if
Yeah.
that's something that you're interested in, Amelia and I both have spots available, and the people who have already done it and who are in it, they are loving it. We've gotten such amazing feedback. So, don't take it from us, take it from them.
For sure. So, in closing, you're not alone by this, and there's amazing work that can be done around here. And we are ya gals to help you do that. So, in closing, my episode suggestion is 225. If you like this episode, jump to this one or Bianca's suggestion. Motivation Monday, how to use your resources to cope better. Oftentimes, we use food as a coping mechanism, as you mentioned, B. And
Mhm.
using food means that you are the user. That means that you don't necessarily have control. But when you can focus on what you do have control over and apply that usage to your resources coping better, that's where you feel like the control is back within you.
Absolutely. 274, what causes our emotions and how do we change them? All right,
Nice.
everybody. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope it was super valuable for you, and we will see you next time. Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.